Yeah.
Anyway, hi.
Okay. Hi, Lam.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for being part of this.
Yeah, it's been fun having you around in the studio.
Tell me about yourself. What do you do?
I'm Lam. I'm 23 years old. I've been tattooing for up to 4 years now. I would say 3.5. And that's kind of like been my entire life for a while. I've been in art since I was a kid because my dad is still an artist, but yeah, I grew up with artists around me, so it just kind of feel like I was kind of destined to go this path, you know?
Yeah. But you grew up in Hanoi?
Yeah, and I lived about 2 years in Australia because my mum moved there. My family's still there, so yeah, I still think about going back there sometimes. But I like Hanoi. I love Hanoi.
So, wait, when you grow up, your dad is an artist?
Yeah, he was a great artist, but then he kind of had to trade his life for like art life for business life because obviously, as you know, like it's really hard to make money as a traditional artist. And he still has a lot of friends who make money from that life, but since I'm the eldest kid of quite a lot of kids, so he kind of had to like sacrifice his passion to
for family.
Yeah, for family.
Oh,
sort of.
Is it like you think that's changed onto like
Nowadays? Oh, absolutely. With social media, every artist, or I think every like local business owners, small business owners, rely heavily on social media. I think most of our life are on there now, and it's like a double-edged knife, you know.
Yeah.
Like
it's like possible for everyone to like make something out of it.
Yeah, everyone has a shot at being big, I think.
Yeah, there's no excuse anymore.
Yeah. And which is also pretty toxic because if you just rely your entire artistry on getting big, being big, then you kind of lose the plot a little bit. You kind of lose yourself. Like, oh, what are you making art for exactly? Are you making art for out of pure passion for yourself, or is it for like a big audience that are a bit more vain, you know?
And when growing up, your dad, was he teaching you like how to view the world as an artist, or was he just doing his stuff and you were watching it, or was
that is a very interesting question. No, I didn't watch him do his stuff a lot, but he definitely shaped my worldview of art and career a lot. But basically, it's a bit heavy, to be honest. I would say like that's not something I would like impose on my kid. But I think it was still interesting nonetheless. He basically said that once you get into this career, your passion, you will basically lose everyone in your life. You will lose your loved ones. You will devote your entire life to this one thing, and you will lose yourself, but it will be worth it because you get to live as who you are and to live 100% of it. And he really wanted me to create a new genre of art, which I was like, you want me to be the next Picasso? Like I was like 7 years old. I was like, oh, that's a bit hard.
So the first things you got into art was drawing with him, sort of?
By myself. I started making a lot of little gift cards, I think. I started making just arts and craft and drawing a lot when I was a kid. Funny story, I don't know why that this was kind of like a little autistic brain of mine, I think, but I was really obsessed with Michael Jackson for some reason. I think my mom was. Okay. And it was Michael Jackson. He died, and then I saw in the news about his funeral, and I remember I found that diary later on, like years later, when I was like 16 or something. The entire diary, I was just drawing his fucking funeral for some reason. It was really dark for like a 5-year-old child, but that's all I drew. It was a bit messed up, but that was a funny like memory of my childhood.
was that just like, do you know why you had that interest?
I don't know. I think, maybe I do understand why. I think it was close to my grandpa's death. So like that was one of my first memory ever growing up was this was a funeral, my grandpa's funeral, and that was the first time I've ever experienced sadness, I think, because everyone around me was sad, and I was like really confused and puzzled, like what is this emotion? Why is everyone feeling it? And once it was described to me, I just had this intense wave of sadness, I guess. And I guess I was really young, like a tiny baby, but definitely had some sort of consciousness because that was like my deepest core memory ever, the first memory ever. So I think that got imposed onto my art life growing up. I associated art with depression a lot growing up as an autistic kid with a bit of a mental problem. I think I associate art with heavy sadness, and to be an artist, you have to be miserable. You have to suffer for art. You have to suffer for the art that you make. If not, you can't make good art. And I think that's a really toxic mindset that not just me, but lots of artists has like gone through, and I'm glad I'm unlearning it now.
Yeah, I think a lot of art is created through suffering, like you say, because you feel bad and then you want to express that beyond words, maybe.
Grief produced some of the best work of art, but who says, happiness?
I guess happy. I mean, when I look at your studio now, Black Cat Studio, you're like, the cats are maybe a bit happier than
the cats are happy. Before. The cats are really happy.
I mean, sort of, there's a bit of a shift. But what is so now you fast forward after you draw for a long time, or when do you get into tattooing?
So I drew a lot, and then I think I had a gap of a few years after I suffered from depression and burnout quite a lot, and I kind of like didn't feel like it was going anywhere. I was in art school, but it was still like I thought art school would be different from other school, like I wouldn't be in a mold. But once I got into that, I was just like, oh my God, it's all the same. It's all this, like I'm just being put in a mold. And with my brain, it's quite neurodivergent. I have to be in a specific environment to thrive, I think, which is on my own term. And which is why I create the studio with Gimme anyway. But yeah, it was really hard to be in this kind of like environment where everyone had to be the exact same, and I was feeling very lost. So not until I found tattoo, then it was just like a new purpose of life.
What age are you when you?
I was 18.
18.
I was like 18 and to 19, I think. And then since then life just changed completely with the new purpose. Then I drew for a purpose.
And who do you remember? If there's any particular person or moment that brings you into tattooing, or is it just like social media?
It's actually my fiance. He's amazing. He actually asked me one day when I was in college, like, well, I told him I need to quit this. I can't do this anymore. And then he was like, well, what do you want to do the most? Then I realized that, it's tattoo. Then he got me my first machine and everything. I got my first course. And then fast forward 4 years later, I got my own studio, which is really amazing.
That's a story. And did you ever consider anything else, or did it always just feel like that's your intuition and that's just the way I go?
With how I was a really depressed teenager, at 15, I did not have any plan. I was just, because I didn't think that I would make it to 18, and then by 18, didn't think I would make it to 23, So I think my entire life before tattooing was just like, I'm not going to make it anyway. What's the point of planning? There's no point of planning. I think by this point, by the time that I'm older, it's some really dark shit, but I practically had no plan. I did for a while really wanted to be a psychologist.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I was really huge into psychology or even criminology. But I quit high school also. It was just like a very messy life. But But then, yeah, tattooing was probably the only thing that I've ever known, and it will be my biggest love
Your thing,
till the end of my life.
Well, that's cool. I think that's awesome to find something that you enjoy.
It's amazing.
Do you feel through tattooing you've gotten to know yourself better?
Yeah. Oh my God. Like I got to. I think the best part about tattooing was in my first few years. I was in a really big studio, big traditional studio, lots of like hardcore tattoo guys, big masters, amazing, like not just talent, but they're just basically gods. And it was really rough. I gotta say, it was quite rough. Like being a girl in a very male-dominated field. But it definitely toughened me up a lot. It shed me off of that like wounded dog kind of like always too sensitive, too scared of everything. And then after the apprenticeship there, I just started going out and experience more of the field, more of the industry, and it all led to now being confident enough to run my own studio and work with other artists and kind of like being the one who like run shit with like
your own terms.
On our own terms, because I don't think we were made to be in the field under other people's like kind of like bossing. It's hard, I think, but to be in this own space is just a genuine blessing, to be honest.
And I guess you've always had your dark own style, so it's always been hard to be like okay, I'm just gonna go in this studio and they're gonna love me because they probably have never seen this before. Like tell me about like your style, like if you had to describe it.
Oh, if I had to describe it, it's kind of like a mix of punk and goth, and there's a lot of, in my tattoo style, there's a lot of the medieval sort of Baroque influence, but also there's another part that I really like, is the kind of like Berlin-esque sort of hard contrast, very Y2K, I think. But yeah, I do really like the ornamental flow of just Renaissance and medieval time, which like it's very feminine but still very bold. I think.
Yeah, it's like a feminine goth.
I really like goth. I love goth music. I was a really big goth kid. I was listening to like The Cure and Bauhaus all the time, like death rock. I'm a big music person. I'm a really big music person.
Do you play any instruments?
Play a bit of bass, but I can't say that I'm good at it. I'm really bad at it.
but like really you are interested in like learning, or you just like no, just tattoos, tattoos, or you're like okay, maybe this can be interesting for me too.
I've always been really big into music. I grew up with music, and I can't live with that music. I can't. Every day, most of my day, I have my headphones in, or the reason why I have the studio is because I want to play my own music. It's just like music gets me through the day, and I love bass, but I think with how much time I want to devote into tattooing, it's kind of became secondary. Like I still play it sometimes. It's more of a hobby than like something. I'd love to be on stage one day, but that's a dream, you know.
Yeah, but I guess also good to have something which you just do for yourself and not have the pressure like, oh, I have to make money, I have to perform. It's just me enjoying this.
Yeah. So yeah, I do like bass. I do love it, but it's just not big enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I do love music. I try to find new bands, new music to listen to all the time, and I get really excited if someone's like have the same music taste as me.
You ever tattooed someone that you really enjoy the music of?
Yes, music of.
Like if you ever like listened to someone and you had the opportunity to tattoo that person afterwards?
Dude, that would be my dream. I have so many like bands. Like if I get to go to UK again, I would really love to tattoo Idols, Fontaine DC. I do like tattooing bands too. I'm gonna tattoo kneecap on one of my best friends. It's Irish, and she's gonna tattoo my favorite album tomorrow or something. So yeah, I do like music tattoos. I got Deftones and Arctic Monkeys tattooed here. Got Sonic Youth underneath here.
You should shoot them a message and be like, hey.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tattoo kneecap, and then I'm gonna text them like, hey, notice me. Hey, I exist.
That's cool. I think that could work.
Yeah. I think eventually I'd like to, because not a lot of people listen to the type of music that I listen to.
Well, and the entire vibe of the studio fits into that scene, I guess, somewhat.
Yeah, but it's hard to find someone like the music enough to get it tattooed on themselves.
Yeah.
Which is I'll have to like go to Europe to find people who want to do that.
No, that makes sense. And when you start your apprenticeship, you did that in Hanoi?
Yeah, everything's in Hanoi.
Tell me what mental challenges you had, because you say you went through like depression, not knowing what you want, and then you start this internship or I guess apprenticeship, and you're like, okay, I kind of want to do my thing, but they are all like telling me what to do. How do you feel through that time?
I think through that time, it was the biggest thing was self-doubt and imposter syndrome, because tattooing it's hardship, you know. It's not as easy as doing like to pull a perfect straight line. That will take you so much time and effort to like not until 2 years after my apprenticeship that I feel confident enough to say that I got all of the basic foundation down, and then obviously through that time you have to figure out your own style too. Like there's a lot of skill that goes into tattooing, and especially in an environment where everyone is trying so hard or just already good at it. You're just looking around like, okay, am I good enough? Am I good enough? And it's just that voice in your head, like, you know, you really have to kind of like tell that voice in your head to fuck off, saying that you're not good enough or you should give up. Because I never once in my career thought that I should give up. I don't think that's a genuine blessing. I think that's why I know I'm going to devote my life to tattooing, because not a single time goes by, even when I was the most depressed, I never thought of giving up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think the biggest one is just telling the voice in your head to shut up.
And so that's a mental win. And from a tattooist perspective, the basics is like the most important to learn, or?
Yeah. Oh, you have to learn if you don't have the basics, you can't branch out to do anything else. You can't do advanced techniques if you don't know how to hold the machine properly, how to stretch the skin properly, and how to pack color properly. You know, it all comes from the basic, and from the basic you can like master so many more things, but you have to master the basic first.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I guess it's the same with pictures. Like if you don't understand how the light works, how the camera works, it's going to be a bit difficult to make a picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course. No, the basics always stand. And you say your dad in the beginning, he teach you that you're going to lose like friends, loved ones. Yeah. What do you mean?
So what he means was to let art consume you entirely, that make your life just art. Because if you don't do that, then you won't be able to make it. You need to like 100, like give it your all, which I understand the sentiment and I do agree with it to some point, but I don't think it's healthy to actually destroy everything for art. I think a work-life balance is very much needed, especially working in such a rough like industry and career, you know, because a bad day at the office can be pretty bad. Like it's a tattoo, you tattooed on someone else entirely, and it's your masterpiece and everything. If you fuck it up, then you know it's going to be more than just a sad day
And I guess having, a loved one or friends or other things, sports, playing bass can help you to like comprehend with it and like escape
but
from
I
it.
do understand what he means, because not a lot of people can understand your devotion. They'll be like, you know, it was my dad first, actually. He didn't believe in me. He was just like, why would you want to do tattoos? Like, you know, that's how are you going to make money and stuff like that. I don't think he understood that tattooing was also a form of art, and it took him a while to understand that it's a very skillful like type of art. But yeah, then also friends, they wouldn't understand like how hard it is to pull a 10-hour tattooing session, because after that your back hurts, your wrist hurts, everything hurts, you can't fucking see straight, you haven't eaten in fucking 6 hours. It's a whole lot of it's crazy. Like
of course,
tattooing is
it's physical.
And
physical.
Once you do that for a week straight, then I can see why I would miss out on like social gatherings. Sometimes I
need to rest.
Sometimes I'd come back from a tattoo session, I'd go see my friends, and I'm just not there anymore. You know, I'm just sitting there.
You've just been working, right? Even though you enjoy it and you love it, it's still work.
It's physically very challenging, and I do worry that what my back will be like once I'm 30. You know, because I'm still pretty young now. You know, I can handle it, but. Fuck, imagine when I'm 40.
Maybe there's some special chairs or something you can
I need to have that.
I know some people I've interviewed, they had like some weird, I don't know, whatever you call them, medical
a few
chairs.
funny looking like equipment. I do like it though.
Maybe
I'd love to buy it.
But they look alright, the ones you have, I guess.
Yeah. Sometimes it's funny when I have to genuinely, like, my back is in an S shape like this. Like,
of course. But I guess if you end up tattooing all your life, you're going to be in the same shape anyway.
Dude, I could notice my back. Like, I have to remember to straighten my back now, because sometimes I'll be walking like, okay, slow down a little bit.
No,
like,
but
no,
it's real.
no,
it's
don't
real.
do that.
I think it's most people nowadays. And I guess a lot of your inspiration for your drawings, your personal drawings, your tattoos and all that comes from your childhood, but or sort of. But where else in your everyday life, I guess,
I hyperfixate on things. Like I told you, I love music, and I love like movies or like series. Yeah, I love, once I get into something, I obsess over it. Okay, I think the most precise way to describe my inspiration or where my art comes from is total obsession. I obsess over something. That's when I create art the best. It's not like about depression anymore, because that's what when I was a kid, I thought that like to make good art, you have to, like, depression makes you make the best art. Once I grew up, I realized it's totally false. I think I get depressed when I don't have something to obsess over. I obsess over music, or I obsess over movies. Like for a while, I was really obsessed with BoJack Horseman and 6 Feet Under, or sometimes like movies like Fight Club, or a book I read like Gone Girl, My Year of Rest and Relaxation. And after those, I get the biggest high of like, okay, this is like what I'm consuming right now is so amazing. I need to make something out of it. I need to make an art or flash sheet out of it. I need to make something.
Yeah, of course, because you look at so many details of one thing and you're like, you want to create something out of that.
I'll sit through, like every day, I'll sit through like 3 to 6 hours of a video essay on YouTube to like learn more about this this media.
But that is so true. So many of like any projects are like so theme based and so niche, where you're like, whoa, this is so interesting.
It's so specific, and that's where, like, I think that's how I make art. That's how most people make the best art. It's not about like, you know, it's very outdated to think that like, you know, I guess it's some kind of obsession too. But yeah, obsession is how you create good artists, great artists.
So how did your obsession with cats?
I have 2 black cats. Okay. They are the cutest thing ever.
Is that the reason you called the studio Black Cats?
Yeah. Yeah, and also me and Kimmy, we look like two black cats too. I think.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like our spiritual animal.
Yeah.
But my two cats, I can't live without them. I love them so much.
I see.
Yeah, when I'm at home, they're like, I actually give them personality and like names and everything. Like they have so many names. But yeah, they are literally like my motivation. Like if I'm at work for too long, I really miss my cats. I have to ask my fiance, like, please send photos of the cats to me. Or else
That's good.
I'll die.
At least you know you have something that can motivate you. I mean, that's a good thing to have, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, and when you were in Australia, was that before you went to art school or after?
That was before I went to art school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And there, were you involved with any art related? Because that's a very different scene than Hanoi, I guess.
I was in an art class for a while, but I didn't know it was like an art therapy class that my mom and my stepdad put me in, which fair, I didn't need therapy. But yeah, it was great. I was creating art a lot, and funnily enough, my high school best friend in Australia just came to visit me in Hanoi, and she told me that, yeah, she remembered that I'd always be in class and I'd never really focus on whatever was on the board. I was always drawing something. I was creating like loads of arts out of like to give friends and everything. If I like someone, I'll draw them,
I've heard that many times asking tattoo people.
Yeah.
Like I interviewed a tattoo artist and he's like, yeah, so I used to do sketches of people in school and give them to them. That's a very common thing.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
That's all I did. Like that's all I did. Like in class.
I guess it's obsession.
Yeah. Once I like someone, I'll draw them. Even if I don't give it to them, I'll keep it with me. Because like again, it's like the obsession. I need to make art out of those things I love. Like yeah, I do draw like the people I love a lot.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you say you couldn't, or your friend was saying she saw you not being able to focus.
Yeah.
You think that's something common for people who get deeper into art?
Yeah, I think most of art people now were the weird art kids in class. All we did was probably just not pay attention and draw all the time. That's what I did. That's why I got in so much trouble, because all I did was draw and draw. Yeah. But it was up to a point where I got into a lot of trouble. Like my dad got called up to the office and they were just like, you need to tell her to stop, like not focus. She doesn't focus. And my dad also gave me a lot of shit for that. But then he realized that I got something in me. So he put me in art class and stuff since I was a kid. I was always in some kind of art class growing up. Okay. I was never not in an art class.
That's cool. And how are teachers, are they very supportive of you doing your own shit in classes like that? Or are they like, oh no, you have to follow this and we're learning these basics?
Very specific teachers. I wouldn't say a large amount. I had a couple, like less than a handful kind of teachers were like, if not supportive, at least be understanding of that. They saw that I was a bit different. Definitely, they all knew that I was a little bit different from the other kids, but some of them were understanding enough to like sit me down and like, talk to me about it or something, or didn't give me trouble, but rather just like empathy.
Try to understand you. Yeah, that's good. I think that makes you like more seen.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to have like an adult who didn't see you as like some kind of like weird kid, but actually saw you for who you are. And I think to have like every kid deserves to have mentor like that, like I had a few English teachers in Vietnam that I'm very thankful to have back then as a weird kid,
And throughout, after that, you go to art school and you get into tattooing. During the apprenticeship, are you ever like, I know you said you always knew that's what you wanted, but even when you like were you ever considering not to do it, like to be like, okay, I try something else, or was it always only one way?
Yeah, I remember art. I was just like, okay, this is still, even before tattooing, like I said, I didn't really make any plans, but everything was just, it has to be art related. It had to be art related. I didn't have any other choice. I think at some point my dad found out that my mom wanted for me to go do accounting or something, and he actually told her, like, are you like absolutely out of your mind? Like, have you seen her? Have you seen our kid?
She's not gonna do
like,
that.
she doesn't even know what algebra is. You can't send her to accounting. But yeah, I could not. Math was not my best friend. I could do it. It wasn't like I was. It was definitely because I didn't pay attention. But when I paid attention, I could do it.
Sure,
you know?
but if you don't care about it, there's no reason to learn it.
It was the fact that I did not care for it at all. I was good at what I was good at, and I did not care for the stuff that I wasn't.
I think that's cool. But I guess that's hard for parents to look at from the outside.
Asian parents too.
Oh, true.
Very, but my families were a bit more progressive than the average Asian parents. They, both of my mom and my dad were kind of like the black sheep in the family too. They were also a little bit. I love them, but yeah, they weren't the most typical, like neurotypical people, and I think that's beautiful. I think that's why they created me, and they already knew that I wasn't gonna be something very
accountant,
regular, or like an accountant. That's correct. Yeah.
Do you know anyone who is an accountant?
No. No. I knew lots of my friends are business people, and but I don't. I know a few science people, which are great. Science, I do like science.
What sort?
My fiance is he studied forensic, and he's into biochem.
Oh, wow.
And then everyday science videos. So it's pretty cool learning about it.
You put that into your art as well?
Like I try to. Yeah, there's a lot of like themes that I'd like to like. I think the particles are really cool to look at, and I think in the world there's so many the ocean is a big topic. There's so much to draw there. Octopus. You tried drawing an octopus? That thing's like insane.
I don't want to. I don't think I'll be succeeding.
Octopus are insane.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, wow. So your art is. I mean, there's a lot of, I guess, and not faces, eyes in your art.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good
why?
thing. Yeah. I have no idea. I've always been really obsessed with drawing eyes since I was a kid. I would always draw. I would spend hours to learn how to draw eyes when I was a kid. So that's a big hyperfixation that I never really knew where it started from. That's a great question. I need to learn, where did my eye obsession start from?
I think wondering.
It's just like a really cool. There's a lot of emotions in the eyes, and I think it's just all the eyes are the window to your soul. I think it sounds a bit corny, but it's not wrong.
I believe
I think
too,
eyes. You look into someone's eyes, and you can. It's a very intimate thing, and I think it's eyes is something very special compared to nose and stuff.
And it gives a visual to everything else you experience.
Because no one fucking draw noses like eyes. Can you imagine drawing like a nose centipede?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But maybe that's just because we as humans that's all we know is the eyes.
Yeah.
Like if you close your eyes, there's not much left to exist for.
Sometimes I think about what if I went blind? What if I went deaf? I wouldn't be able to do it.
I think that's super interesting. I think there's some musicians who are blind because they just follow their ears.
Yeah.
But I guess drawing blind would be a bit difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's probably some people doing it.
I mean, there's some people who tattoo with their legs. Humans are incredible in that way.
Yeah,
I think that's a way.
So eyes and animals, sort of. It's like your.
Yeah, animals Kimmy does more animals. I think I'm more of a human. I draw a lot of women's body.
Of a human.
Yeah, I draw a lot of women's body. If you,
no, I did see that. Yeah.
There's something very beautiful about therapizing, about drawing a woman. I think, from the body to the face. I started out with traditional too, so I spent hours like drawing traditional old school women with that like this, like the color scheme and the eyes. I think is super interesting. The hair, the patterns. But yeah, there was a lot of this in my early days of tattooing.
Is this more like called old school style?
This is neo-traditional, I'd say.
Okay.
Old school is a bit more cartoonish and a bit more simplified. I think neo-trad, it's a little bit closer to the realism, as close to realism as old school can get. It's like a hybrid.
Like a realistic cartoon, sort of.
So old school, you see that like it's much more simplified. Like the eyes are bigger, nose
like
smaller.
Simple patterns.
Yeah, very thick lines.
Because you say you are interested like in traditional. Have you ever done, or are you interested in like doing a trip specific for like learning like traditional tattoo styles?
Well, yeah, I'd love to go to Thailand and watch the. I don't know how to call it.
Yeah.
I do want to learn more, I think. But before that, I think I'd like to go learn more about tattoo cultures in like other countries, like in Europe or something. I bet it's all very different, and the styles are super different too.
Yeah, very different.
I bet. Yeah, I'd love to go Berlin to learn more.
Yeah, you should go.
There's a lot of like crazy stuff going on there.
Yeah. There's and a lot of international people as well.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
I have 3 questions I ask everyone.
Yeah.
And the first one is, if you like had to describe it, what does art mean to you?
Oh, what does art mean to me? Art I'm going to tap into my little inner child and ask me that too. What does art mean to me? Oh, it's just as big as life, I think. I think art is something that you cannot take away from me. It's something that, I think I wouldn't be able to live without, but also it's something that drives me insane. It's like a loved one, It drives you insane, but you cannot live without them. I love it. It's almost like masochistic or something. It's I can't live without it, and I will go insane with it, and I will go insane without it.
I love that. Yeah, I totally understand it. I totally understand that though. Why do you think that is? Because that's I think many people have that. What?
Yeah. I think not only that it's the most familiar thing for me. That's one thing that has been consistent throughout my entire life since I was a kid, a tiny baby. Art has always been there. I don't really know a life without art, and it would be really strange to imagine a life without it. Like it's from a kid to like adolescent to adult. Like I said, I've always been in some sort of art class. I've always been drawing. Like the only gap I've ever had from art was when I was like really burnt out and really depressed, and that skewed my worldview a little bit. And but then I always find my way back to art. It's the most familiar friend in my life.
Oh, that's beautiful. And if you had to describe like what makes someone an artist, like if you had to describe it to an alien, what makes someone an artist?
Someone who has an obsession.
Okay.
Because art, you can, as long as you have that obsession, I will see you as an artist. Like the truest artist is someone who is intensely obsessed and has a lot of love. I think that's why they associate artists with being a bit like mental. It's a stereotype, and I don't think it's like the very healthy to, because it kind of like encourage a lot of kids or like a lot of like people like being depressed means you're better. No, I don't think it is. But I do think that like every artist has that obsession, which is why they're a little bit cuckoo. And that's fine. That's beautiful.
That's just extreme love.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be for humans. Can be for things. Like with the obsession.
Yeah,
being in love with, being obsessed with something. Yeah.
As long as you have the obsession, you're in love with something, and you create something out of that love, I think that's art.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very true. Yeah, I guess that's not even about being a tattoo artist or painting. That can even be about being parents. You have love for something, you're so obsessed about it, and you create something. Right?
Yeah.
It's a common theme.
And again, once you're obsessed with something, you're gonna do it again and again and again and again. And with how much of that like obsession goes, there's a lot of practice there too. So like, the more you do it, the better it gets. So say if someone's obsessed with drawing a horse or something, after a year of drawing horse, like that drawing is going to be fucking stunning.
Yeah.
By the end of it,
At least interesting. I don't know. Mine would be stunning if I would.
Well, draw horse for a year. I guarantee you'll be really good at drawing horse at the end.
You're right. And do you think an artist has to like present their work? Like, let's say they draw it, and I always put the example, and they put it on the sofa, and no one ever sees it.
I think no, you don't have to. I think some art you can just keep to yourself, or sometimes you make a lot of art, and it's really hard to filter it out. But if you feel like putting it out, you can. But I have tons of art that I keep to myself. I never post it. I've never even shown anyone. But yeah, there are hundreds of projects I've gone through, and like I just think some art are very personal. I had to, like I said, I had to create out of love, and sometimes it's just like a little bit too close to home. Yeah,
you posted some sketches, I think, some time back. I stalked all your Instagram posts, and you were like, these are wonderful for me.
Yeah, there's a lot of like stuff that I think it's better it's more beautiful if I have it for myself.
Do you think there's value in sharing them, because they also share a bit of your artistic view, right?
I think it's good to share them. I think it's a bit hard to mix them in both tattooing business and like. So that's why I think I'd like to create another page to just dump all of my art there. I don't care if anyone sees it. I just like post on there.
It's there.
Yeah. And obviously it definitely gives more of a glimpse in myself than tattoo stuff, because you tattoo it on other people, but art is like for me and for me only. I think that's the difference.
Do you feel a big difference?
Yeah, very big. Oh my God. So before I got into tattooing, my first lesson when I got into tattooing was clean up my art, because my art in like my own way is super messy. There's so much mess in there. It's very chaotic. Sometimes I will draw like literally like this, but when it comes to tattooing, you need something that is clean enough and to put on skin.
And it's a cooperation with the other person, right?
Yeah, but with my own art, I'll just cry ink, I just fucking slash ink on everything.
Yeah, but I think it's cool to be able to cooperate with a person also, because you're sort of giving something of you on the way how you see that person onto them forever.
Yeah,
it's very personal, I think.
So it's more for other people. It's still me, but like...
the intent is different.
So my own art has a very different story than my tattoos.
Yeah, of course. But I guess you transition a lot into it.
Yeah. At some point, it kind of merged a little bit. It doesn't have to be separated forever. It's not like, completely different areas cannot be mixed. I think sometimes it merges and sometimes it can go its own ways. And it just kind of flows however, I feel like it, I guess.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And last question.
Yeah.
If your inner voice had a message to the world, what would it say?
Oh, if my inner voice, that's a cool question. Okay, my inner voice would say that I don't want it to be cliche, but I think like it's a running theme throughout the interview. Just keep going with your obsession. Be obsessed. Be extreme. Don't care about what other people think or say. That was the biggest lesson I had to learn throughout my adulthood is I need to stop caring about what other people say. And the moment I stopped, it was when, all of this happened,
Yeah,
so
I get goosebumps when you say that. It's so true. Yeah, it's so true.
you need to stop giving fuck. This world is super chaotic already. There's no orders. There's like you need to go your own way.
Just create your own order.
Yeah, like don't like submit yourself to someone else's plan. Do what works for you. If you want to be an office worker, be it. But if you don't want to be it, and I guess I do get that the world is a rough place, but fucking fight for it, like a fish trying to get back in the water or something, because the water is your passion. You need to be in it to actually live life. Yeah, I think also art is something that makes you feel alive too. Just do whatever to make you feel alive.
Yeah, be obsessed.
Yeah, be obsessed. That's the best way to feel alive.
Thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Ben, so much for this wonderful conversation. It's been really nice.
Thank you so much. That's it.
Yay!
Awesome. Thank you.